welcome you all for this series of Searching the Truth. Once again, we are going to look into another truth which would definitely excite our minds. Let me read a verse from Genesis chapter 18 and verse 17. Then the Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do?" This is something which really opened my heart very much. The Lord is in a place where He is talking to Abraham. He came to meet Abraham, and then He was proceeding to Sodom and Gomorrah, and He wanted to see, because the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah had reached to the heavens. So the Lord wanted to see if really that is true, and He was planning to deal with it accordingly. And before that, He came to meet Abraham, and after meeting and talking to Abraham, the Lord was just standing and He said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I'm about to do?" God had something in His heart and He wanted to share it with Abraham. It was a friendly conversation. God, as a friend, was sharing His heart to Abraham. That's how I see. This incident, we all would have heard, and we would have heard a lot of preaching on it. We would have listened to this. And even I had looked into this from my childhood, and it has always been quoted to me as an example of how Abraham interceded for Sodom and Gomorrah. But actually, today when I look into this same scenario, it has nothing to do with interceding. God wanted to share His heart to Abraham because He considered Abraham as His friend. And Abraham also, when he heard that God was about to go and destroy the place, he did not think about his relative Lot and his family. Maybe if I was in the place of Lot, that's how I would have thought. First thing would be, oh, my relative is there, my brother is there, my cousin is there, or my parents are there, whatever it is. That would be my first focus. But here, that was never Abraham's focus. God and Abraham were talking like friends, and Abraham began to ask questions to understand God, the heart of God. He started with 50. Lord, if there is 50 people, would you destroy the place? And God said, no. Then slowly He reduces it to 40, 30, and then finally it comes to 10. And if 10 people are there, would He destroy it? He said, no. Abraham found it very surprising that if 10 people are there, God won't destroy. For him, that was a great answer. That answer from the Lord really gave a joy to him. Because he was trying to understand the heart of God, and God was trying to share His heart to Abraham. It was a friendly conversation, and moreover, it was never Abraham's responsibility for Sodom and Gomorrah. God didn't hold Abraham as responsible. Abraham, pray that at least 10 people will be there, otherwise I will destroy the place. No, that's not how God spoke to Abraham. Abraham was trying to find the heart of God. Abraham was trying to understand God. God knows I'm telling you this because I'm keeping you responsible. Make sure you pray, at least have 10 people here gather and pray. And then that is why I'm sharing my heart to you. No, that's not what God did. He just wanted to talk to Abraham. God was just looking for one person. For God is looking for one person to share His heart. Today I tell you, interceding can only be done when God shares His heart to you. Unless God shares His heart to you, you cannot intercede. Secondly, just because God shares his heart to you, that doesn't mean he really wants you to intercede. Sometimes he would just like to share his heart and reveal his character or his attitude to you. You know, that's why when Abraham, in his walk with the Lord, each and every place, the way the Lord spoke to him, the way the Lord gave him Isaac at the age of 100, every incident, he began to understand God. The knowledge of God out of experience was increasing in Abraham. And it took him to a point where when God said, okay, I want you to sacrifice your son Isaac to me. Go to the mountain which I show you. Abraham was so confident. Okay, I know about you. You're not someone who takes life. You're someone who gives life. It was like, Abraham thinking in his mind, oh, don't joke with me. Do you really want to have him? Okay, have him. I found it so humorous. Abraham was ready to give his son because he knew what kind of a person God was. There is something when we walk with the Lord, when we journey with the Lord, when God begins to share his heart to you, and when you understand him, it's a beautiful relationship. This incident has nothing to do with interceding. I will continue this message in the next part with more detail about it. And I'm sure this message blesses you. Thank you.